morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for giving this opportunity to talk about the journey to the financial digital maturity. Myself, Kalleda from Huawei Technologies. So we just kept a very small agenda. I just wanted to tell you about our storage strategy and some of the solutions which we are talking about, and what are the customers and the companies which has been using our solutions to help them in the digital transformation journey. So it's a 109 billion company, and we have around 180 employees and spread across 170 countries. So what makes us more different is actually we are the largest and the fastest growing storage solution vendor in the world. So this is something which we are proudly to say. So solutions company, and which we have been providing the specific storage solutions which is going to help the banking segments. Today, if you look at, we have around 12 storage R&Ds worldwide, and we have around 360 engineers worldwide. And the largest one, which is actually in Bangalore with the R&D center, is about the first R&D center which we started, and this was one of the largest one. If you look at the customers list, we have trusted by 9,000 plus customers in the different verticals, be it on the financial carriers, media, entertainment, energy. We have the customers in most of the segment which you have been dealing with. So today, if you look at the banks are making the transformation from a pure financial companies to a financial technology firms. The speakers just explained how we have been adopting the technology from the competitors, right? Now the banks are more focused on comprehensive customer experience and next generation payment systems. So according to the recent studies, 95% of the financial services which will be based on the big data and cloud, and that is going to run to the new profit centers. So that's something which we have been talking about the banking and financing segment. So if you look, Huawei helped to reshape the IT, enabling the smart banking and from the front office to the back office perspective, creating a very smart architecture through the high performance opening platforms and a business continuity and finance clouds for the services. So in intelligent analysis and a converged data warehouse, that is something which Cable Sir has just explained. We have financial big data solutions that make the smart decisions. So omni-channel for the banking channel, which is actually shifting the focus from the transaction to the customers. So this is how we are going to help you to reshape the IT. And if you look at 16 years old or 16, 20 years, we have been there in this particular industry. So the accumulated technical experience which we have helped us to launch the lightning fast and the rock solid solutions which we have it on the storage, which help the customers, which help all of you to manage the storage resources from a mission critical services. So managing the massive amount of data growth, ensuring that the data is being stored on the right place based on its value in the business. Does it matter what type of data it is and what kind of application which has been created and who is going to use this kind of data? Today, we have just emerged into the magic quadrant of Gartner. So Huawei, if you look at the progress which we have been making, you can see that it's a great progress every year we have been making. So according to Gartner, all flash storage is mature enough. All flash storage outperform the hybrid disk, and it's reliable and its cost effectiveness today, which help to improve the agility and the large capacity SSD speed of the enterprise for the digital transformation journey. The all flash data center help you to reduce the overheads in terms of operational management, in terms of the reducing the rack space, your cooling and the power consumption which is there in the data center. So now if you look at the kind of the solutions which we have been providing, we could see that at the chip level, at the system level, and also the solution level, we have been providing the best in class, the technologies, and it's actually the state-of-the-art technologies which is provided. The intelligent multi-protocol interface chip, and it's also the intelligent solid-state controller chip and the base management controller chip, which actually accelerate the front-end access by 20%. And FlashLink is a technology which we use it in the system level, seamlessly coordinate the software and the chips and increase the performance by 50% with a very low latency of 5 milliseconds. And the rate TP kind of tolerance failures which we have been talking about can sustain three levels of the disk failure which can be provided. And the third one, on the solutions level, we are talking about the hypermetro, which enable the storage in the two different data center. Most of you might have created two data center, one is on the production center and another one is on the disaster recovery sites. So most of the time what happens when the production sites goes down, your disaster recovery site is coming up. So here hypermetro enables storage system in two different data centers to process service simultaneously, establishing a mutual backup relationship. If the storage system in one of the data centers have a malfunctions, the other on the automatically take up our services without any data loss and the service interruptions. And the third solutions which we could say that what we have been talking about is a non-volatile memory express. That's the NVMe architecture, one of the fastest storage transformation protocol in the industry. So here comes the complete portfolio of what we have been talking about on the storage portfolio. You have the complete storage portfolio, be it on the all-flash storage, on hybrid flash storage, or a cloud storage, which has been completely given with a software layer for the management piece. And then you have the different solutions which is available for the different kind of workloads which we wanted to implement. And this is the solutions which we have been talking about. Be it on the hybrid flash or all flash or NVMe solutions which you're being talking about. Then NVMe, this is latest in the segment now, the non-volatile memory express which you discussed. This architecture is actually the fastest storage transformation protocol, which is really going to double the write-request processing efficiency, and it's also reduce the end-to-end SAS latency by 45%, which help you to improve the storage performance by at least 3 times. So Huawei All Flash uses industry-leading FlashLink technology, which is an algorithm which we synchronize the data in the controller as well as in the SSDs. So even when you the kind of value-added features like deduplication, compression, or a snapshot which is enabled, the system still retain a stable 5 millisecond latency. Now comes on the financial big data cloud, what we have been talking. The big data has been developed with ISVs and 5 different scenarios on the financial services. So the real-time anti-fraud, it's actually detect the transaction and the fraud transaction within seconds, so that the bank can stop the transaction, inform the customers about the possible fraud detection which is happening. And it's also use a log analysis which can predict the system performance on the peak hours, and it also can take the precautionary actions to reduce the downtime. And the kind of the large storage which has been provided, which will give you the enough storage space for the applications to retrieve the data as and when it is required. Now comes the financial cloud. So this is the complete cloud solution which we deliver to experience through the data on demand, regardless of the workloads which you are talking about, regardless of the vendor or regardless of the locations which you have been talking about. The Fusion Storage is a fully distributed cloud storage system featuring a massive scale-out capability. So the onboard storage system software consolidate the local hardware, the hard drive solution, spaces which is available, and provide it as a block, object, or a file to the storage resource pool to the upper layer. This is actually giving you a massive storage pool from the existing hardware or the existing data which you have, a resource pool which is already available. Now comes the financial cloud, the full stack financial cloud with high performance and high scalability, and it's easy to manage. With high performance infrastructure with a self-developed chipset and optimized collaboration between the software and the hardware. And Huawei Financial Clouds help you to adopt a cloud service framework for an open architecture, one converged resource pool, and one intelligent data lake, and one business innovation platform, which is going to take you to the next level when it comes to the cloud services which we have been talking about. And today we are talking about the storage solutions which give you the highest performance in the industry. We say that the 7 million IOPS which has been tested and proven in this Dorado solutions which we have been talking about. The fastest in the industry and the most flexible scalable storage, that's what we have been providing. And Huawei proprietary high performance SSD can provide the performance necessary to handle any explosive growth of data which you have been mentioning. Last but not the least, this is the solutions which we've been talking about for your branch office or a remote office. Most of the time, you can understand that the remote places or the remote branches, we don't have enough IT expertise which is available, right? So this is going to make a little difficult for the banks to manage those kind of remote branches. So here we comes with the complete solutions, which depends on the kind of branches, the capacity which you have, be it on the 50-seater or a 100 or a 500 seaters. You have the ready solutions which is available, which comes with the required kind of computing, required kind of networking, and required kind of storage for that particular branch to operate. And it's easy to get connected with your data center or your backend, where you can have the control, complete control of those particular branch, even when you don't have an expertise which is available on the branches. And here come one of the special promos which we have been using about, because Huawei is able to give you the best-in-class SSD promotion, SSD drives. Because of that, which we are the manufacturer for those particular drives. So here, the all-flash which you have been talking about, this as I discussed, or as I mentioned by the Gartner, the kind of adaptation which is going to be on the all-flash is much faster than any other drives which is available today, because that reduces the cost and that speed up the acceleration, digital acceleration for you to go with the complete data center consolidation. So here we are running a special promo which is actually the SAS is equal to the same capacity of SSD at the same cost. This is possible because of the kind of drives which we own and the kind of technology which we just explained has been given. Some of the references which we wanted to talk about, because most of the time we have been telling that we are the #1 in China, and most of the Chinese banks has been using these the Huawei technology. So there are few industry leading banks which is outside the China, especially in the European region and other region. And most of these particular banks are actually the #1 or #2 position there. And we can proudly say that a few banks from India is also, you can find it in this list. So that makes us a wide variety of solutions which has been given to the financial segments all over the world. And most of those actually the #1, #2 position in the national, the scaling of the banks or financial institute which is available. So here we commit that we bring digital to every person, home and organization for a fully connected and intelligent world. That's all from my side, and more questions or more queries which you have, you can just reach out to us. We have a booth outside, and we can have one-on-one more discussion based on the kind of requirement, kind of solutions which you have been looking at. Thank you so much. Thanks for this opportunity.